Okay then, Nick, so look at these two swings here now. Left-hand one, very, very good setup. The stuff we talked about last time from sort of creating a sort of a lowercase y, a more sort of stronger setup we've done very nicely. Key thing we're going to look at now is basically the impact position. As we discussed in the session, there was kind of a couple of conflicting movements, should we say, that was causing the golf ball to either hook to the left or go off to the right, or hit the ground behind the golf ball, or top the golf ball. And the problem was you didn't really know which one was going to come in on any given shot, and obviously as a result of that, the consistency level would be a bit all over the place. So as you hit the golf club back, decent rotation here now onto your right side. As we come back into impact, what we see now is a little bit of a sort of scoop with the hands at impact. You can see this sort of movement here now, trying to possibly try and square the club face up from the shots going off to the right there. And the hands now, you can see hitting the golf ball very much sort of behind the golf ball, adding a bit of loft and closing the club face, potentially as well hitting the ground behind the ball or topping it. And then through impact, what your left arm now would do is sort of try and hold onto the club face. You can sort of see your left arm here kind of pulling up and away, sort of quite a long way away from the body here, this sort of chicken wing as they call it, which if that worked out more, then obviously the ball would then go off to the right. So what we're going to practice on here now, look at this right hand one, is just the feel of sort of getting into impact. So starting off in that good setup, and then just the feel of how the left hip, and you can see when I said here, now move your left hip towards target, ideally going in this direction. You can see sort of the movement of you trying to do that, actually pushed your hips to the right there. So we're going to get the sensation the hips are going more in this direction, which puts your hands slightly more on top of the golf ball at impact. There's a nice straight line now, sort of down from the left shoulder where your hands on your club are going to be coming into at impact. So it's getting a real feel for how the body's going to move into the impact position. And this is going to be the focus now. So we can do that wall drill that we talked about, where you sort of swing back, you get to the top of your backswing and get the club to come down. Hip on the wall first, hands on the wall before the club head gets there, to stop that kind of scoopy flick that we were seeing on that left-hand image. If we go back there a frame or two to sort of this impact. And again, with a bit of practice, even just doing this sort of movement for a short space of time, and the feeling of how the hands are going to come into impact, like so. You can see that really good kind of straight line there, creating a good impact position. Just doing this for a few sort of seconds, back and forth to get the feel for it. Then when we step to the golf ball, and the important thing, as we said, to remember, just when you're setting up over a golf ball and hitting it, both in terms of practice and on the golf course, your focus now is hit the golf ball. The prep work done beforehand is the key thing, where you can think as much as you like about the movement of the body, but when it comes to hitting the golf ball, you need to focus on the ball. And we sort of hope that the practice has created sort of a little change there in the swing. If we actually look at this movement here now, even just after probably a minute or two of making that move, we can see the hip and the hands moving a bit more towards target. Your hands now at impact, I'd say, are probably more on top of the golf ball, as opposed to, you can see on that left-hand one, scoop behind. So practice that movement away from the ball. When it comes to playing, as I say, you just go out and hit the golf ball. We don't want to be overly thinking the movement in the golf swing. That's going to cause you to sort of overanalyze, break things down too much, and probably end up messing up with the golf shot anyway. So focus on the movements as a practice. And then when it comes to hitting the golf ball, just simply set up, look at target, and swing the club as freely as possible. So I hope that makes sense, Nick. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, and we'll work on that next stage of the through swing in your next lesson. Okay, buddy?